let's pull up the slides. Let's talk about the week. It was a little quiet, but there's a lot that happened this week, of course. Let's move to the first slide. S&P 500 is up for the fourth consecutive week. Russell 2000 and Dow Jones are also the same. Nasdaq is a little bit out of whack with them. It's been down 1 week, but these three have been up four consecutive. We had Nvidia earnings this week, and basically the biggest thing was how they're in the middle of this U.S. and China situation with tariffs. But AI is not slowing down. That's the one thing that they showed. So it's up and away there. Definitely a quiet earnings though, which I feel like a lot of us thought. I don't know if you guys did anything. I didn't do anything in Nvidia, but I kind of felt like it was going to be an inside movement, and boy, was it ever.
I was bearish, so I only sold calls, so that worked.
Mhm.
But the earnings plays in general have been very modest for us, Jamal. We've I don't Tony, have we had I don't think we've had a I
A
don't think
big
we've had a
outlier
big
move. Yeah, no, we've avoided them if there have been any because of liquidity. So for
yeah,
sure.
I don't think we've had a big loser. I think there was one earlier in the cycle that wasn't good, but I can't remember what it was. But it
Mhm.
wasn't bad, like it wasn't horrible. And we've had a
That's a good
lot of
sign.
really small winners, but I don't think we've had a bad loser this cycle, which is good.
It's a good sign if you can't remember. That means it wasn't a blowout.
It wasn't it didn't blow out all the winners. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Apple's been in the news. There's rumors that they've held talks about attempting to buy basically some different with these AI companies, whether it's Mistral or Perplexity, that they can upgrade with Siri. They're starting to feel like they're getting left behind a little bit here. U.S. economy beats estimates by expanding 3.3% in the second quarter. No tariffs seem to be affecting consumer spending, people who like to buy things, which is good for the economy, of course. And the VIX and VVIX are hovering near their lowest levels of the year with readings of 14.43 and 92, respectively. Fall is pretty low.
Yeah, and Vol's even low today with the market down. I know it's only down a skosh here, 15, 20 handles on the E-mini S&Ps, but still you would think at all-time low levels or recent low levels that it would catch a little bit of a blip on any down move, which we're not even seeing here today yet.
I think this morning, you're going to see vol a little lower than later today, Tony, because I think going into a 3-day weekend,
We'll get a little bit of vol expansion.
yeah, I do. I think the vol sellers will walk away this afternoon,
Mhm.
and I think you're going to see vol perk up this afternoon, even if whatever the market does. I think vol's going to perk up this afternoon.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a pretty, we can move to the next slide, John. There's a pretty big difference between front month and second month VIX, right? Right now, I would say this is not it. It was probably got to be about $2 and change, right? I don't have the platform in front of me, but
I can tell you right.
What are you
when I
looking
looked the
for?
other day, it was almost $2.20, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, but hold on, I'll tell you.
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty. You mean the carry?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty big.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the forward curve for the Fed funds rate, and when you look at August, September, October, November, December, basically we're looking at effective rate of possibly 3.85% for 2-year yields. By the end of the year, which is pricing in basically two cuts, and a whole full year from now, we're out to 3.17. So rates could be a lot lower within a year's time. We'll see, though.
Yeah, they've been talking about that now for 2 years.
Yeah, I know, but it seemed to gain traction a couple of Fridays ago, right? That big rally, right?
Listen,
You know,
this chart in front of you is why we are staying long bonds. Long bonds means you're betting on rates going lower like this.
hmm
And this is why we're staying long bonds every single day for the rest of this year until we get a rally. And it so far hasn't gone anywhere, but it's worked.
Mm.
It is wild how we can have this. Obviously, this is a future looking ahead in this pricing, but bonds have been fairly, steadfast, sitting around 113, 114. You talk about ZB, right? Like,
And yeah, but the funny thing about bonds now, which I think is a little weird, is that they, even though they haven't gone anywhere, the put prices keep getting a little cheaper, almost like a commodity where they have a floor, So the puts are a little cheap, but I think the best play out there is to be short bond puts. But there's buyers. There's no question. There's put buyers every single day in there.
mhm. Yeah. Let's move to the next slide. Is this getting a little out of whack? This is XLK to XLF, tech to financials. Of course, you can look at this ratio. You can look back at the dot-com era when obviously, tech started to fall off. You can look at the global financial crisis, and then you can see the pandemic and the AI. Is this starting to trail off? Is this something to trade, or is this a situation where tech is just going to be outpacing financials?
So this is tech over financials. These are
Tech
all
over
tech
finance.
tops, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you call them tops, but they're heights.
I mean, it's a weird, it's a weird relationship. Like I don't really look at tech and financials. Like I don't even know what that pairs trade would look like.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, it might be something like a Nasdaq Russell. I mean, on a very kind of broad-ish base view.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I mean,
even it's not a one-to-one correlation.
Yeah, you sell Nasdaq by Russell is what you're saying.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, that's fair.
yeah, yeah. Or just in general, do you feel like financials have kind of been left in the dust, or is it just really tech is really outpacing by that much?
I just think tech's outpacing. I think some of these financials are priced stupid as well. I mean, like, you can't look at like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and go, oh my God, those stocks are dirt cheap. I mean, they've gone up thousandfold since, 2008. I mean, it's,
Mhm.
their prices are in the stratosphere.
So that's what I just looked at yesterday when I was thinking about this, and you lose sight of like the price, right? Like honestly, if you would ask me yesterday what price I thought Goldman was, I wouldn't have said $700. I kind of lost sight of the fact that wow, this is a $700 stock now.
Sure.
JP Morgan $300 stock.
$700 and they can't even make a market.
Right,
Yeah, right.
right.
JP Morgan, $300. They can literally not make a market.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not so positive that like I said, they're making money because they've annuitized their customer base and they've annuitized, their models, the fee structures. They're running unchecked right now, but God help them if they ever have to make a market on anything.
And see, you know what? And then this was actually makes me think even more about this whole thing. Actually, I didn't really. So Goldman and JP Morgan are obviously not the ones that are getting left behind when we look at this chart. To
No,
me, this chart says there are a lot of names that are techs that are not just Nvidia and Apple and Microsoft that are pushing this higher. And
well,
that's not
sure.
quite the same in tech.
Yeah, sure. Agreed.
Let's move to the next slide. This is the 10-year yield minus 3 months. So any chance of rate cuts at some point in time will be reflected in here. This thing crossed over in October 22, and everybody was screaming recession at that point in time, right? When it crossed and went negative. And now it's just sitting pretty flat. Surprising that it's actually not a little bit higher, giving this is kind of reflecting some of what we were talking about. Not a whole lot of, even though people are expecting rate cuts, not a whole lot of big change here as of yet.
Agreed. I
I
mean,
mean, you take a look at the long end of the curve there, like the ZV bond, and we're sitting at 114, what seems like forever, and that's reflecting here what you're getting in this relationship between the 10-year and 3 month too. So, yeah, it is all quiet. Do you think that means that bonds are going to have a lot more volatility if they do get some sort of rate cut coming than the overall market?
I would
I
like to think so.
I don't think so, Tony. But I mean, I can tell you that what scares me the most about bonds is I kind of feel like everybody's, because the puts are always bid. I feel like everybody's buying bonds, buying puts,
Hmm.
and I feel like that's their protection. And it's been too easy to be short puts in there. It's been too easy to be long bonds. You haven't taken any. You've taken one. They've taken one swing at you all year.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Is it possible everybody's wrong?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Be the first time.
I mean, that's a crowded boat.
Sure, sure.
Right now the world's not sitting around short bonds going, well, I think interest rates are going to go to the moon. Every single person thinks interest rates are going to get cut, and so you've got 99 people on the boat, and I'm one of them, thinking that rates are going to go lower, and you got one person on the other side. Usually that one person's right and 99 other people are wrong. I don't know. It just scares me a little bit.
Similar to the dollar, right? There's all these people who are short. At some point, that's going to change too.
We'll see. Yeah.
Let's move to the last slide. The de minimis exception actually already ended at 12:01 this morning, so it's going to cost more for shippers and customers. Packages that are under $800 will no longer be duty free. There was an additional 25% tariff placed on India on Wednesday, brings the total to 50%. Apple is holding an event on September 9th to announce new products, including the iPhone 17. I've been long Apple heading into this thing. We usually see kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news and that, right? Tesla sales in Europe fell 40% in the month of July. Seventh consecutive month of declines happened to coincide with January, right? When people started in office. So looks like you were ahead of the trend, so I was often getting rid of your Tesla. Seems like nobody in Europe likes it. Maybe you're kind of European. I don't know.
If you're not subscribed, subscribe right here. And if you want to meet me and the team in person at our next live event, hit the link at the top of the description.